Uh, and I'm rehearsing for YouTube. If I had to start all over, I got the monologues on the Facebook, and for some reason I don't think Facebook like me, man. And I know stepping out there with that YouTube, that's like a whole nother level because then you're sticking it out there for the world and you're subject to get that ridicule, that backlash. Ah, man. That's why I've been keeping my stuff pretty much underground for a long time. Now, for you YouTubers, first time watching Maurice Moore, I go by 11-1. 11-1, 74. Take the 7 and the 4. That's 11 more. I say I'm kicked back, spitting facts in the man cave, sipping on a bud that made me wiser. I was born on All Saints Day, man. That's that 11-1. That didn't become a big deal. I didn't know it was a holiday, I should say. I didn't know it was a holiday till I was about 16 years old. The church that I was going to at the time, they didn't celebrate Halloween. They had a party on All Saints Day. First time I had a birthday party, and since I was a little kid, I had one when I was a real little kid, but Maurice Moore birthday, late in the year, ain't nobody thinking about no deeper meaning or to my existence. At least I wasn't. Like I told you, man, I was square. Well, I ain't. This is YouTube, so it's the first time hearing me. I was square, man, for a long time. And you say, what do I mean by square? That idea of that one God, one Son, and that was it, and everything else in the universe could be ignored. It wasn't until about 1998 when I was in Germany and I was watching this sitcom. And they set up a joke, and the punchline to the joke was God is a woman. I don't remember what they said to set that up, that scenario up, but I believed it. It planted a seed in me. That was 98. Oh, man, that was 98. I got out the Army in 00. Still a square, still believing in one God, one Son. Then 9/11 happened. A year after I had been out the Army for about a year when 9/11 happened. That's when I woke up. Started asking myself, what is this about? Why are we here? What's going on? By that 11/1/2001, that's the day I had it out with the male God. I say the male God. I had it out with the God I had been serving on my birthday. Ended up in some peril after that. The day before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I got into it with the police. They surrounded my house and told me to come outside. And when I went outside, they was hiding and they came from all over the place and wrestled me down to the ground, put a gun in my head, told me to pray. Oh, man. I said a quick prayer. Keep in mind, I was still dealing with the male God at this point. I say, God, take care of my kids. And then I felt a surge of energy and I heard a click. And when I heard that click, I opened up my eyes and the same people that had wrestled me down to the ground all stood me up on my feet and it started raining. The first thought I had was about that show Quantum Leap. I just knew they was there to kill me and I'm still here, so I must have jumped the universe. That's my initial near-death experience. And that's the first time they took me to the hospital. And that's the first time I was in the VA behind something they call bipolar. They call me bipolar, manic depressive. I spent about 6 days in that VA and I got out. But I didn't want to live in Shreveport no more. My wife and kids had left. And I was in the process of trying to figure out where I was gonna be. I ended up in Prairie View around December of '01. Yeah, we had December of '01. Got a place in Prairie View, got in school, put in a claim for that post-traumatic stress. Uh, that got approved, that claim got approved in 2003. And that sent me manic. I was managing my mania pretty good until I got all that money. I got all that money. I went slap crazy, young soldier. End up crossing swords with the Prairie View law, Prairie View campus law. There's so many agencies out there. I got to be specific. Cross swords with the campus law. He found a little piece of joint in the car, so he took me to jail in that. This was 2003, about June 7th or June 8th of 2003. Got to the jail. They didn't want to book me. Oh man, I laid down in that cell, took a nap, and when the next when the next crew came on, I asked them was they gonna book me. And they took me out of that cell, and I ended up getting out of that jail, man. Ran from them. It was cinematic the way it happened. Like I said, I couldn't have planned it. It's a whole bunch of stuff had to go right. A whole bunch of coincidences had to go right for me to end up breaking out of jail, young soldier. For one thing, they had a closet that had a push-away ceiling in it. I pushed away that ceiling and I climbed over top and I fell through to the other side, and there was a door. I opened up that door, I struck out running. Seen number daylight, I struck out running. The police was coming out of the front of the out of the front of the sheriff's department, and they was chasing me down. One dude, they couldn't catch me. I was way too fast back then. But one dude jumped in the car and he cut me off with that car, jumped out with that shotgun and loaded that shotgun and said, "Freeze!" And I threw my hands up. I said, "Okay, man, I was just bullshitting." Bullshitting or not, they hogtied my ass. They hogtied my ass and threw me in that cell, and that's when I knew I was in some trouble. I knew I was in trouble for the weed before, but I'm sure enough in some trouble now. Done went to jail on a misdemeanor and escaped and caught a felony. Ah, man. But at any rate, when I was hogtied and all that pain in that cell, when I was hogtied and all that pain in that cell, I knew I had to pray. Couldn't pray to the male God because I had it out with the male God before. So I decided to pray to a woman. Don't remember what I said, but I was pretty eloquent back in them days. I prayed to that female God and all that peril being hogtied in that cell, and an angel appeared. An angel appeared in that cell and dropped a tear on my handcuffs. And a little bit after that angel disappeared, they came and untied me, man. That's when I had faith in the gods, and I believed that the gods was real, and I believed I was looking for a woman. At that point, I ended up in the VA, in Fort Bend County. Don't mess around in Fort Bend County, young soldier. Ended back up in the VA. Got out of the VA on my birthday of 2003. I got out on the VA on my birthday of 2003. I still had to go to court, though, for that escape. I went to court for damn near a year, if not longer, on that escape. They put me on probation. I ended up tangling with the Prairie View campus law again, and that triggered a motion to revoke. I was living in Louisiana at the time that I had that fugitive warrant. They picked me up on that fugitive warrant, tell me I had to go back to Texas. But Louisiana would treat me so bad, I didn't mind being back in Texas. I love Texas, man. I just happened to be in Louisiana because I had a daughter, and I was trying to be with her day to day. But if I had a choice over Shreveport or Prairie View, man, I'm going to take Prairie View 10 out of 10 times. I'm going to take Prairie View. They had 10 days to come get me. They had 10 days to come get me on that fugitive hold. They stuck me in this cell with this dude. His name was Brian Coleman. They stuck me in the cell with Brian Coleman, and his story was he was in there for a bank robbery. Telepathy. He called telepathy reading minds. He said he was reading minds with a cartoon character, and it convinced him to rob a bank. That was his story to me in that cell. He had this book in the cell with all these religious symbols on the book. It was intriguing to me, and I asked him, I say, man, what's in that book? He said, some bullshit. I say, you mind if I look at it? The book was the Hiram Key. I got that book, Young Soldier, went through the table of contents and looked at what it was all about. And that was a pivotal moment in Maurice Moore's life. Like I said, they had 10 days to come get me. I was in there for 3 days. I was satisfied. I was reading that book for 3 days straight. Once I finished that book, and I thought back to that quantum leap, when I told you they could put that gun in my head and pull the trigger, then the escape, and then the fugitive warrant, all that led to me coming across that one book, that Hiram Key. It's good, man. You can order it on Amazon. You can't get it on Audible. You got to order it on Amazon. But get that Hiram Key. This is my first YouTube video, man. I'm just working this thing out, working out the kinks. It's 12 minutes long. They say you got to be at least 10 minutes to get monetized, huh? So, there you go. Man, this your boy, man. Just stay tuned, man. All this story, the only story I'm going to tell is the story about me. That's the only story I know at this point. 11-1. Baby on the 74. Born on All Saints. Think it ain't? Put my money in the bank. It's your boy. 11-1.